Namaste. My name is Daniella Magalhaes, and today I am here surrounded by nature, very grateful for everything I have around, and that's what I live for. The planet, nature, and living harmony with Gaia. So this became my biggest passion, helping and guiding my sisters and brothers and learning myself on how can we live in this modern society and at the same time make all happen for our trees and our birds, and all of us should live in this perfect love, unconditional love, as one. Any techniques from making deodorant or conditioner or things that can go back to the environment and save Gaia became like my biggest love, passion, and that's what I'm here for. That's what I came for. And I would love to contaminate some of you with those ideas in the near future. The new paradigm. The new paradigm, it has a lot to do with what I'm doing. It's has to do with co-creating together a new beginning where we have more freedom and we're more sovereign. I'm not against the government, I'm not against anyone, I'm for love and only, but the new paradigm is us coming together and co-creating our ship in a better and more harmonious way. That's how I see it and feel it. I would highly recommend love yourself first unconditionally. Let the ego go. Like an ego is always looking for ways to please other people or how what they're thinking about me, or if I don't have that, I need this and I want this. It's kind of like stopping and realizing that we are in charge of our happiness. So at this time, I would say less is more. This is very important for people who are out there. I've been an executive and I really worked hard for that money and the beautiful convertible car, and I figured out I can't eat money. Right now we have presidents talking about having a war. Like there are very serious things out there, and at this point it's very important that we become more sovereign, that we actually look for planting food. All those things gonna help you with the awakening process, because once you're touching source and you are with nature and you plant and you breathe and you go back to what is being mankind, naturally you're gonna wake up that there is love on everything. It's not on your cell phone, you know, the Apple out there, none of that. It's about us gathering and feeling that core with nature, where we come from, water, and being. I would highly recommend a lot of breathing, disattachment, a mind open to anything and attached to nothing is just so important nowadays. So if you have time to go take a walk or do some beach cleaning, I don't know, I pick up recycle out the streets, I talk to people, I hug people. There's so many campaigns that you can do to help other people wake up, and also you better yourself with that reflection. We're learning and healing together. This is like a very much shared planet, like we are all in each other, we're everything. So that's how I find my healing, is just by picking up my passion and see the areas of needs where my brothers and sisters might be lacking something, and I just want to be there for them, like where we feel all supported. 30 to 40% of the water is actually chlorine, so if you test it, you would be like, whoa. So that's why people, they move from other countries, they're like, oh my gosh, my hair falls so much here, you know, my skin, my pores are bigger, and all this has to do with the chlorine idealization. Besides, that's the worst part. What it does is make people very acidic, which means like you're basically soaking your organs in chlorine, so you're deteriorating your organs, what are very sensitive tissues. So we have a high amount of people not only with cancer but with arthritis, which all comes from that same chlorine. Because if you're acid, it will eat your cartilage like non-stop. Like your body start eating itself, and also you become very blowy. You look like you're fat. You're not fat. You're just acid. And then people say, I can't lose that weight. I was like, it's not a weight, really. You're just acid. And it's very sad how it's happening, but it's a slow way of killing people. The health department in 2015, for the first time, did announce, that was on Obama, it was the first time that I seen they putting out there an article explaining that the water in the United States is causing cancer, that everybody should have a filter. And not only boil it, because this is the thing, when you boil chlorine, you actually activate. Right? If you want to do your white clothing, you use chlorine in hot water. So people say, oh, Daniela, but I'm going to boil that for my beans. I was like, but you can't use your beans with, chlorine water, because you're just killing all the beans. All you're eating is empty food. So people are also not getting proper nutrition. So this is very serious. It becoming a very serious issue. And I am a person who healed my own cancer naturally. And nowadays I know more than ever what I don't want to have on my body. And often people will say that I'm picky. Oh, but you say you're a healer. Can't you heal yourself? And I'm like, it's not that. It's like those chemicals are very strong. They've been put in there for a reason. And it's getting people, DNA more and more weak, where the immune system is going down and everybody's becoming very dependent on medication that we really don't need. And of course, plant medicine makes no money. We don't charge taxes for food or plant medicine. So why the government would encourage us to grow food or to sell food? So it's like the money is coming from advertisement, rental, taxes, and our people are not growing food. And that's why right now, for the abundance that we're talking about, and for us to live more stress less, we need to start creating our own products and taking, charge for our food. We gave them trust for years, I believe. I did allow myself. I vote. I did all the. I don't think they're really interested in us. It's basically a fraction of 1 or 2% that have everything, and they think we're nothing. But we are everything. If each of us decide to put $1 on the table, that 98, 97% fraction, we have more than them. But we didn't realize that yet. And that's why I think talks like that are very important, because people are not realizing that the cancer, it's coming through the waves of the phone, it's coming through the water. There's no cancer. Cancer, basically, what it is intoxication. How often you hear people say, oh, I got allergies. There's no allergies. Your body's just telling you, I'm so full of this. I had too much. Please clean me up. It's just like a bathroom that you leave there and you just go pee every day and you don't scrape it. You see what I'm saying? It's just going to start, and then your filter's going to, and then get saturated, and then you're sneezing, your eyes are, and everything. And then guess what? You're going to run to the doctor. And sure, he got a prescription for that. And everyone got insurance in America. Let me tell you this. It's like, it's there. You can get Obamacare, Medicare, whatever they call it. I don't even know what they call it anymore. And that's the way that it's been ran, the system. And right now, I'm not against it. I understand how everybody feels, and they're doing their thing. Right now, I'm just calling, the Earth crew here and let you know that there's not just natives and South Americans. We're all one. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, we're all from this ship here. So we got to take charge for the trash. We got to take charge for stuff. If we have a war right now, where's our poop all going? Who's going to take care of that? Did you ever think about that? Do you even know what is a compost toilet? How can we do and make it better? So there's some questions out there. Think about if we go to war right now, you're talking about abundance. What choices do you have from home? Are you growing food? Do you have sustainable water? No, we're charged for. It's like we're charged for parking, for air. On your insurance bill, you actually pay for air. I don't know if you realize that. Our air is nowadays charged, and we pay for it. Whoever have insurance in this country pay for air, 75 cents a month. So we got to vote again. Thank you, and I'm sorry to get very passionate about the subject. Thank you. If anybody tells you you have cancer, just walk away. You know, you're healing. We're healing. It's a process, so it's not your fault. It's something that's going on around, and we need to detox from. My mother died of cancer, and I was 23 years old. I was 8 months pregnant, and she was very mystic, wonderful lady. And at the time, I got very upset over, and I decided that I want to disconnect my spiritual practice, and I didn't want to not communicate with my mother. And what I did was just become very materialistic. I was just very much into having my child, and I took a corporate job, and I started making a lot of money, and I had some intentions that I don't know what was there. My trauma was so big that I don't even know who was that person, but I'm something else now. At 31, cancer hit me, and I sat there with the doctor, and I was like one of the most expensive clinics in the United States. I was in Weston, Florida. It's like at Cleveland Clinic, where like, you know, football players heal, and a place like that. And the doctor told me, oh, well, you are going, you know, you're on stage 3. We need to scrape this out. And, you know, I just left with that on my head, driving my pretty car. And I was like, you know, I'm not doing that. And it was so strange. What I decided to go is go home and do my astrological map. I studied astrology for years, since I was like 15. And then the message was, you know, you gotta check other doors, open some portals. What's happening? Like, you're so disconnected. Pretty much that's the message that I got from Spirit. And that's what I did. I just went to like a very heavy like detox with plant medicine. Number one, medicine, moringa. So if you're hearing this today, moringa, the miracle tree, is highly recommended. It was used even by Fidel Castro, with somebody very well hated by people. And he lived into almost 100, so it's very effective. And then, of course, breathing, yoga, tantra, whatever I could find. I went to witches, everything. I know that in 2 weeks I no longer had cancer. Well, my doctor said that, you know, this is great. I want to call you in, but you have nothing. But I want to talk to you. And I just went in to talk to her, and she's like, what should you do? I was like, you know, I just took care of myself in a green way. Like, I really dropped down, you know, just being in the office and smoking and having coffee and have refined sugar and all those things, and went to a very clean diet and a lot of sound healing and things like that, and it's over. Great. And from there, I dropped that job, and I started working on me, and it was very difficult for people to understand what was happening with me. My father, who is a very ambitious person and, you know, very rich, he's like, you're going crazy. You got to go back to the office. You got to work. What you going to do? This world is nothing without money. And I was like, I had all the money, but then I didn't have my health. So I wanted my health now, and I want to be healthy altogether. So I don't know how long this is going to take, this process, but I'm going through it, and I love it. I'm loving it. I feel great. And actually, when I had, the doctor told me I had cancer, by the way, I didn't tell anybody. It was like something that I could not believe that was possible, and something was incorrect. And that somewhere in there, I was fixing up. Like, I really had this on my head some way, somehow. And just for you that is out there, if you think you have any sickness, if you're in a wheelchair, I don't care what it is. It's I can attitude. It's more than anything. You got to believe in yourself and know that you are the healer, that the God is in you, even though they want you to believe on their gods, because they want you maybe, you know, follow some religion, habits, or whatever. Just follow your intuition. Be in touch with your own nature. This is what we need for healing at this time. And if all of us could do that, I would say you probably never would go to the doctor again like me. I clean my own teeth. I make my own products. It's like, it's very empowering. And I feel like a warrior, like survivor. Like, I don't have to go to a store every time I need to get something. And I definitely choose, and this is very important, who I want to support, where my dollars are going. This is not just about how many dollars I have now, where I'm putting my dollars. It's very important to go to a farmer, to go to a family business, and not go to Walmart. Because Walmart is selling you cancer by the second, and they really don't care. So it's amazing that you're asking about that. I have a 14 years old myself, and right now he's not here with me because he's really hooked into believe that the system is okay, that maybe I am not right, because he likes that security. So I am having a difficult time to actually pass that to my own child who watches me every day going through the process. I know in the back of his mind right now, and he called me about 5 times in the past week. I answered only once because I want to let him think on it. I was like, you heard enough from me, and if you're still choosing school, you got to go figure it out on your own. We're all creators. I went through private school, so I know what's out there. So if we start just like with a simple subject such as you go to school, right? It doesn't matter if it's public or private, unless you go to some special program, and they basically will teach you a bunch of things and teach everybody the same way. A bunch of information that I know I learned that doesn't really matter right now in my life. I don't even use it. And then years later, they ask me what I want to do. And I maybe had to use an advisor, I remember, to even figure out what I like to do, because they throw so much out there that you lost connection with that. And so that information, once again, less is more. And I like, there are many type of schools that are going on right now, and let's say Waldorf schools. I find amazing, and is an educator here that works with us that does that program.
Carolina.
So, yeah, Carolina.
We interviewed her. She was lovely.
Yeah, she is lovely. So to just like see the children showing what do they actually like, what you're talented for, what's are your qualities, and then pick up from that and teach them things that will help them grow on that field. Does that make sense? So right now the education is very manipulative. The way I look at it, it's like they're trying to create more slaves. Like people to do what they need to be done, and they don't want you to really know the system, because that way you keep blind around just doing what they want. And then the certifications became a really big business. I know because I'm a healer, and I had places that I go, oh, so you got a certification for that. I'm like, as far as I know in Europe, witches schools, we get together, healers, witches, whatever you call, and we talk about energy. And I go to tribes and I learn with natives techniques, and there's no certification for that. But however, this became a business also. So now if you want to be what people call me sometimes life coach, oh, you got to get a certification. You must be certified in Reiki. You got to be, because all those just generate so much money. But now when you have community like we're creating here, and spaces that we have all over the world, that you can actually go and learn with professionals and pay nothing, just exchange. By planting this yard, I can actually learn yoga. So how about that? Why can't we be exchanging education and knowledge, and learning with people who are hands on it? Not just some guy that's just like reading off a book, and that might change too, because that was content was created by somebody else. So how about we co-create and exchange that together? That's what I see as education, and can be more fun. I learn every day. I feel like I'm in school every day. I feel like a child, and I think that's the kind of attitude we got to keep. And yeah, that's how I feel about the education.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love. So after my quite a bit time loving, when I finally realized what love really is, I found with myself, by the way, it's like love is, you are love, we are love. However, I would define as a acceptance. It's a acceptance of self, is acceptance of others. And accepting is like when we can leave aside the ego, the prejudgment, and we can really look somebody with compassion, and connecting to that energy, and accept our brothers and sisters for who they are, instead qualifying as ignorant, or no, I can't hold a conversation with this person. What is it ignorant anyways? We're all ignorant in a way. I don't know everything. So it's about, yeah, being humble and accepting everyone who is here and knowing that all of us might have a sad story. So we don't know what's the trauma. But by accepting that person as they are, you will be capable of loving someone else outside of yourself and share a great amount of energy. So, acceptance. So, tapping into your energy and figure out what you're here for. It's kind of like what you're. That has to do a lot with your heart. You know, we come from the tiny heart. Like when we arrive here on this planet, we're just basically a little pea, pink, really little small heartbeat. That's why they say you got the green chakra, the heart chakra, and inside you got your tiny heart. So you got to tap into that because the answer is all within you, creator. I'll tell you this much. I did look at for love and answers in other people, found great advice and readings. However, I would say the best thing you can do is go back to your own energy and heart and truly ask. And when I say that, like I practice a lot of tantra, you know, going beyond that form and feeling yourself and breathing, going to that quiet gap. I don't know if you ever seen a little kid playing a guitar and then he pick up for the first time and he just start playing and everybody, wow, he's a natural. And no, that kid played that in another life. So for you to get in touch sometimes with some of your talents, you can activate so many powers by just being in touch with yourself. The only way out is in. So it's just about stopping there. Ask your heart. And don't forget that every thought will create a sensation here. So if a thought arrived and you didn't create and just came in, that's a message. Because prayer is you talking to God. Now, intuition is God talking to you. So if you don't go into that silence gap, how are you going to hear the message? So that's where meditation comes very handy, to be in nature, quiet, touch the heart, feel it. To access your heart information, if my brain say, my mother died of cancer, automatically, no matter how many times I say that, I feel a wave in my heart. And it's painful. So once you realize that every thought creates an emotion here, you know you're in control of your emotions. So what goes in here, you're going to feel here. And it can be very painful. So if you're saying, I'm fat, I am lonely, although that's very painful to the heart, how about instead saying things to yourself? How about just listening? Listening. The message will come, trust me, through silence, through listening. Be in touch with your heart. You will get it all. This is all it takes. And then you're going to start feeling sparkles of excitement. You might going to go through subjects that you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, and I love that. At this moment of Earth and how the universe is shifting right now, you can do anything. I know it sounds crazy, but if you, let's say, I love vegan milk. I was like, I want to just go making vegan milk. And this is not crazy, it's needed. If you have some crazy idea that's amazing and is aligned with the universe, trust me, the universe is very intelligent. It will work with you. But first you got to start here. And don't care about anybody else's opinion. Just stick to it. I love you. Music. Oh, music is the universe. Look, verse, uni, one verse, one song. So music is universal. Music is so much needed for healing. It's a great form right now of communication, even especially with our teenagers and children. I learn language through music. That's how I do it. Like I just sing in any language, and then I learn how to speak that language. And just like my grandma used to sing for me, and I still remember the songs, and I know I don't remember it right. I learned on third grade. So music is a great way to touch others, to gather with others. What people call DJs now, you should be called, if you look back, the master of ceremonies. So the music that's out there right now, it's very important, because I really don't want my teenagers, and I say mine because I love everyone so much, but our teenagers, to be on a hump, hump, hump. I wish to hear them, singing about the trees and the birds. It just changes the whole shift of energy of how they're gonna act towards their sensual kundalini, because we are sensual, sexual beings. Everything standing here comes from sex, including the plants, everything. So we are here to manage that, and music is a very big part of how we're going to reflect our kundalini energy and chakras towards our planet and people. It's a reflection. So I find it very important what goes in here, and yeah, I definitely highly recommend everyone to look for some amazing medicine music and put your children in touch with good music. Because it does create a really big impact. It sets the tone of a whole party. And we know that. And I love DJing, by the way. You can invite me, I'll help you with that.
Daniella, thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you. I'm so glad we did this.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
cantando con la tierra, el templo medicina, danzando